Hey team, today I want to talk about Resistance Day equipment. Behind me I have V-Sculpt on, and the reason is because V-Sculpt uses almost every piece of resistance equipment that I have in my little gym that I've created in my basement. I want to bring you through those different pieces of equipment, and you can tailor it to any of the different exercises. Some of these pieces of equipment might require a little bit more investment, you may not be ready for that, but you can always modify. So let's take a look at the pieces of equipment that I have. The first piece of equipment that I'd like to talk about are dumbbells. I purchased the BowFlex Select Tech Dumbbells. Interesting story, if it wasn't for these dumbbells, I may have never even started P90X. So I bought these dumbbells before I had ever started the program, and I had done their routine. Wasn't seeing much results. And so I went onto BowFlex's website to see what other routines they had, and they had a link to P90X. Hence, in November 2009 is when I started. So, what do I think of these dumbbells? I really like them. There are pluses and minuses to them. Let me show you some of the pluses and minuses here as I bring the camera closer. So, there are two different types of Select Tech dumbbells. There is, this is the version, I think they're called 1090s, that go up to 90 pounds. And then there's ones that are a little bit cheaper that have a lighter weight. I think they go up to 50 or 60 pounds. I personally don't need all this weight. I had bought it initially, who knows, I just had testosterone going that day. So what is nice about these is, as you know, in a lot of the exercise you have to switch pretty fast. And what this allows you to do is switch your weights really, really fast. It also allows you to have more weight on one side than the other, which works for some bicep curls. And so if I'm in between, say, a 20 and a 25, I may one side go a 25 and then the other side do a 20, and that'll make it 22.5. Let me show you real quick how these go in and out. So this is 20 pounds here. You just take it out like that and put it back in. If you need to switch to 25, take it out, put it back in, and then these go all the way down to 10 pounds, and that's just that piece right there. Now let me show you a couple of reasons why, things I do not like about them. So as you can see with them down by my side, they stick out quite a bit from the side, which isn't a problem if you're doing some type of supination curl like this. But if you're doing just plain old curls on this way, sometimes your arms can be a little further out. Whereas if you have a smaller, more compact dumbbell, it's not as big of a deal. I also notice it in exercises like the flip grip, twist, whatever it's called, in one of the P90X, where you come back like this, you go up, come up, twist, and then back. It is tough to get. This comes, is quite far from your body if you look from the back. And so that particular exercise is tough for me. And some of the other tricep exercises are tough for me just because those bars stick pretty wide out. That's the biggest complaint I have about them. Other than that, I've loved them. They've stood up very well. I mean, these are, if you want to take a look at them one more time, I've had these for probably 2 years. You can see that, there's some dinks a little bit on the top here from putting the plates back in, but overall they've held up very, very well, in my opinion. Now, one thing about this is, especially if you're doing a real heavy resistance day where you're using a lot of dumbbells, I wear gloves because these can really start digging into your hands quite a bit. So I actually wear gloves with these. The ones that are the lighter weight actually have rubber here instead of metal, so you may not need the gloves. And the last thing I'd like to talk about is the stand. So I bought the stand with it. I think it's almost required equipment. Having these on the ground, so essentially you have what comes with just the weights themselves is this piece here, and then this is where the stand starts. So you get this little plastic piece on the side that you could put on the ground, but it becomes really challenging, and it would be tough on your back after a while, so I would think the stand is almost required. These, as you can see, just have, well, they're kind of dug into the floor here, but they just have normal feet on them. They also have casters that you can put in them, so you can wheel it back and forth. So that is the BowFlex Select Tech dumbbells. Second, I have the some other dumbbells here that my wife had bought, and I had bought the 8 pounds there as well. And so, you know, the Select Tech only go down to 10 pounds. As you know, for a lot of for some exercises, you need something even a little lighter than that, especially when you're doing 40 rounds of weighted or 40 reps of weighted circles. So, you know, just pick what weight you need. But as you start out, you shouldn't need anything lighter than probably 5, I would think. I don't think you need 3, 2, or 1, but try it out yourself and see if you need something that light. Okay, so that's the weights that I use. By the way, that little 2-pound medicine ball is something I won at the Beachbody Summit for answering a question right. How about that? So my kids use that. It's fun. Okay, so the next thing here is bands. So I bought these bands initially because I was traveling all the time. And it's kind of hard to throw a dumbbell into your briefcase. But I still use these bands quite a bit. So this is a pack that I had bought. Let me get on the other side of the camera here. This is the pack that I had bought. This is a 40 here. This is a 30. And then this is a 20. Equivalent weight is what they call it. And it comes with two, this set that I bought from Beachbody has 2 handle sets. And then you can just take the handles off like that and put it on a new one. So that's how that works. So I use the bands for different exercises. As you know, in V-Sculpt, Tony uses them quite a bit. He actually uses it on his high bar, right, like that. And the other places he uses them is in your door hinge. So this is what I wanted to show you. And I think this becomes really useful when you're traveling. So let me close my door here. We're doing this in real time, guys. Hope you don't mind. Okay, so now I got this with V-Sculpt, this little door hinge, although Coach Indo told me that when he bought the full Volume 3 one-on-one, he didn't get it free, so you may have to order it. Anyways, it's a very simple thing that wraps around your door hinge, right? And then you put your band around it, and then you know, if you've done V-Sculpt or anything else, you can do different exercises with it. I think a great thing to do, and you can put it in a high hinge as well. I think a great thing to do when you're traveling is use it for pull-ups, right? So you can have it like this, and you might want to put it in a high hinge, but you kind of get the idea of you're able to work your back with that. I'll give a little closer shot of this door hinge mechanism here. It's basically just a strap, and you wrap it around the hinges here. It has a protective plastic piece so you don't wear away the assembly there. So those are the pieces of resistance equipment that I use. Hopefully this has been helpful. As always, if you need any more help or any questions, teamrightnow.com. Thanks everyone.